Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Bombers Blast on the College Football Mafia Network. I'm your host, Nathan Bomber Brown. That's me. Appreciate everybody being here tonight. Tuesday night, there has been all kinds of stuff in the news. It's ironic that I'd picked this title and this, show idea a couple days ago, and then we have this stuff with John Mateer pop up, and that has been the talk of the town. Everybody's been talking about, is he guilty? Is he not guilty? Where are we at with that? So we're going to start off with Jason Watkins, who's going to be joining us in a few minutes. And I want to hear his opinions. He's an OU expert. He understands Oklahoma football through and through. He's lived it for a very long time. And I want to know what they're thinking. What's going on in Soonerland? Are they worried at all about this, or is this just a tempest in a teapot? That's something we'll talk about tonight. So I appreciate everybody being here. Make sure if you're watching, make sure you subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, get involved, leave a comment or question, give us a thumbs up if we do a good job tonight, and let me know if I don't. Everybody has bad days. It's possible I could have one today, but regardless, I listen to what people say. I appreciate everybody being here as we tune up for this college football season. Tomorrow will be the Big Ten preview show. I believe Moen is going to be on with, I don't know actually, his cast of thousands, but they'll be talking Big Ten football. That'll be tomorrow night, 8 Eastern, right here on this channel. And I hope everybody would enjoy that because I think it'll be a lot of fun. Moen is, if nothing else, very entertaining. And I will just leave it at that. If you are watching on Twitter, do me a favor and stay on Twitter. That's cool. But if you get a second, jump over to YouTube, go to College Football Mafia. It'll take you right to our channel and hit the subscribe button. We are pushing to try to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. We still have time. I appreciate everybody that's subscribed recently and those that continue to stick around. Pass the word on because obviously everybody can use the help. We're not exempt from that. So I appreciate everybody joining us tonight as we gear up here for this show. We're going to be talking about college football, the business. It's frustrating for a lot of people. I totally understand why. I'm not sure that there's anything we can do about it at this point. In fact, I think it's fait accompli. We should probably just deal with reality that we're here. We're in this world and adjust. I'm going to say this on Twitter. Join me now live and exclamation points. All right. Because I think the business has it's passed up where we were when I was growing up, right? Yeah, I'm a 70s, 80s kid. I believe that was the golden age of college football. It's the best. We were having people actually throw the ball downfield. Defenses were more flexible. The offenses were adapting at 2 or 3 times the speed that they normally would have been when it was just 3 tailbacks and a quarterback. And it was a different time. You go through the 90s and the Bowl Championship Series and the BCS really changed, and Bowl Alliance. Let's just start there. That's really when things began to change. It was that 96, 97. So it has been almost 30 years that we've been dealing with this new reality that money is driving college football more than anything else. That means perceptions matter. Greg Fugar put out a peek around the corner, obviously friend of the show, somebody I absolutely love everything that he does. He just had a tweet on X. How do you do that? Do you X on X? Somebody tell me how that works, because tweet on Twitter was okay. X on X doesn't work for me. So maybe it's tweet on X, and that's the word we're going with. Regardless, that the SEC is in overdrive, right? They are doing everything they can to drive the perception that they are the conference. This is not new, and it frustrates me to no end that people all of a sudden wake up one day and decide, oh, wait a second, the SEC thinks they're the boss. The SEC has always thought they were the boss. For the last 30 years, certainly. I think you can make an argument that the Big Eight, the Pac-12, and even the Big Ten through the 70s and 80s had a bigger thing to say, Miami being the exception to all those things. I don't know where we would be now if that wasn't happening in our day and age. The world would be a different place. But now money drives everything. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. We'll have a call-in show. I want to hear from you. It should be a lot of fun. I'm going to read some messages. We're going to jump right into the show. Jason Watkins can be joining me in a few minutes, so I'm not going to open the phone lines yet. If you're a friend of the show, you won't be too mad at me that you can't call and tell me that I'm insane or anything I'm saying on Twitter or whatever is stupid. I'm okay with that. Just we're not going to get to it yet. So we will get to it in a bit. Let's do shout outs really quick before we get into anything else in the show. Devil Frog, the original Mafia member, he and I started this thing almost 3 years ago now. It's pretty crazy, actually. Time flies. Devil Frog says, lol, the Big Ten isn't going to jeopardize their federally subsidized gravy train. Haven't you heard? They only care about AAU status. Devil Frog being Devil Frog. There's nothing I can add to that. Great to see you, Devil Frog. Thank you so much for being a member of the College Football Mafia family. Ryan Willie is second in the house, but always first in my heart. I appreciate everything Ryan does. And in fact, he follows that up with a $20 super chat. And all I could do is just say, thank you, Ryan. You know how much that means to me and the team and how much we value you around here and everything you've done for us. Close to my heart, buddy. Nathan, if you're saying that they should be paid like NFL players, this Evil Badger disagrees. Paying them up to $60 million a year would destroy the sport. Less than 1% make it to the NFL. Education matters. It's a great question or a great comment. I'm not advocating that it's unrestricted. I'm actually the reverse. I think there ought to be collective bargaining, and not with like the seniors or with a class. I'm talking about collective bargaining just in general. Come up with an organization that would generally cover all college athletes and that would look out for their general rights, not their individual rights, because I do still believe that the university standard is different than the professional standard. But if you collectivize them, give them protections, gives them insurance, give them legal advice, simple things that will help them in their lives outside of just being in the university. Then you can do things like salary. Let's do a salary cap. I don't care if it's per school. Big schools aren't going to like that. Maybe you do it by position. You can only pay $2 million to a position group. I don't know what it is. There are options, though. People that say there are no options drive me bonkers. It's an unlimited world out there. What is everybody freaking out about? There's no options. This can't be done. Collective bargaining is impossible and all these other. I hate all that. And if you know me at all, you know that I've always said that. And those fighting against it are insane. Wild Ute, dear friend, beloved brother here at the College Football Mafia, I disagree with him vehemently about how the players should be paid. I could not look at it more differently. But we are in different places. BYU and Utah are in different places, right? And that's the way it is around college football. Later in the show, I will come up with an example that just came out today that Iowa State is running more than a $20 million deficit every year in their sports. Well, hello, they're paying $20 million to athletes. Has everybody forgotten? Athletic budgets used to zero out essentially at the end of the year. Above very average, every university never made money on college athletics. They broke even. It was not a money-making venture. It's not that way anymore, people. It's completely different. And the schools that are behind need to do stuff to get ahead. Boise State raised 30 million or some odd number. I should have bookmarked it. I didn't. And Tulane raised 3 million or 4 million. Those schools are not equal. Right now, Boise State is at a much higher level than any of the other G6 brands, any one of them. USF, Washington State, Oregon State, who are still They're not G6, but anyway, they're not the same. Boise State's out there raising massive amounts of money. And by the way, I'm going to have Jeremiah Dickey here on my show Thursday in the afternoon, and I want everybody to pay attention to what he says, because he's probably the smartest AD in the country that isn't in the SEC. So Thursday night, actually Thursday afternoon, I'm going to do it live, and then we'll rebroadcast it. But it should be a good show. Have good questions for him. Really quick, Daniel Gygax in the house, contributor extraordinaire. Bob Swinger saying, I agree, Ryan. Everybody is agreeing with Ryan, of course. Steele Austin checking in. Good to see you, Steele. Evening. Let's see. Caden the Diesel Freak, always one of the first in the house. What's going on, College Football Mafia family? And let's go. It's good to see you, Caden. David Floyd. What do folks think of Virginia Tech PowerPoint? Ouch. So I'm working on something. I'm so glad you brought this up, David. I am working on something regarding the Virginia Tech PowerPoint. Problem is, I don't feel confident in it yet. I'm getting it from people that are very smart, but can't be directly attributed. So that makes it tough for me, because that's not normally how I do stuff. I don't mind opinion. I do opinion all the time. But the Virginia Tech stuff, I'm just warning everybody, you got to check the messenger. Who is putting the message out? And if you're hearing from Virginia Tech, do you think it's going to be pro Virginia Tech or con Virginia Tech? Con ACC, for ACC versus the Big 12, because it's a death match. The ACC and the Big 12 are absolutely in a death struggle right now. So I'm trying to figure a show out. I'm trying to figure out how to pursue that story, but stick with us, and I will eventually do something on that. Good to see you, David. BYU football, Shonsky checking in saying, hey guys, MBM in the house. What's up, brother? Mateer straight to jail. Yeah, okay. Oklahoma State checking in. Everybody just, I smile when Oklahoma State commenting on the Oklahoma quarterback. No story there. Good to see you, MBM. Thank you so much for being a member of the College Football Mafia family. Stephen Vitt, hey guys, how are we doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing good. Jose, now that I know how to say that, it's great to see Jose here. Good evening, mafiosos. Sup. Stormy Cyclone, is he guilty? I thought Iowa was the only state that gets nailed for gambling. Yeah, I'm telling you, the Mateer stuff, everybody just needs to slow their roll. I said to her in one of my first couple tweets is, I think he might only get 2-3 games if he gets anything. The rush to judgment on all this just cracks me up. Look, Michigan cheated and won a national championship. Coach leaves and they get a slap on the wrist. They don't give up their national championship, and yet they openly, brazenly cheated. Yeah, whatever. Stormy Cyclone, is he guilty? I thought, sorry, I read that. Good to have you, Stormy Cyclone. I appreciate it. Clint Moses checking in for Oregon State University. Good to see you, Clint. Big 12 dropping big news last night, promoting Taylor Swift's new album. Hey, brother, I'm for it. My kids love Taylor Swift. Love it. Argra, another good caller. Good to have you here, Argra. Paying players as employees is basically removing the student part of a student athlete. I know it's kind of like that, but at least give us the illusion. It's a great thought. In an idyllic world, I think you're right, Argra. I just don't know that it lasts. I don't know. We'll find out. Rob Ellen, representing Clemson Tigers. Good to see you, Rob. Thank you for being a member of the College Football Mafia family. Good evening. Go Tigers. Clemson set up. If you haven't been following what Clemson's doing this year, they are loaded. Last year was a challenge at times, but they're going to be good this year. I can't remember. Did I do my top 25? Have we done our top 12 picks yet? I'm gonna have to circle back with Gygax about that, because I can't remember if I filled out a top 12. I need to, though, because I'm the boss and I haven't done it. So Clemson, I think, is easy in the top 5, in my opinion. We'll find out. David Kreitzer, I'm all for collective bargaining for college players. Me and you too, David. Let's share a drink at the bar. I think that's awesome. Bob Swanger representing Penn State University. If you think that, if you limit the amount of money by position, you're definitely getting sued. Maybe. If you give that representation, Bob, then the players, I guess the players could opt out of the representation and then they could, it might, yeah, I could see where there'd be maybe some challenges there, but you could also offer opportunities, guaranteed money, and this type of thing. There has to be some way to, to solve this Rubik's Cube. I'm just not willing to surrender and say it's impossible. And it is untenable. There's absolutely untenable. In the next 3-4 years, something has to change. Good to see you, Bob. Penn State's going to be good too. They're definitely in the top 3. I don't know. I don't think they're number 1 this year in my book. We'll find out. FF18 Buffs. That would be Fergie. Good to see you, Fergie. Fergie not here at dinner with in-laws. Mafia Whiskey Bot. Catch you later. Skull Buffs. Yeah. Colorado. Buffalo's in the house. Good to see you, Fergie. Thanks so much for being here tonight. Let's see here. I'm trying to get through as many as I can before Jason joins. Mitch Blanton. Good to see you, Mitch. Thanks for being here. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate you watching. Universities conferences are scared when people speak of players as employees. The cost when employees associated would go through the roof, and the treat of unions. I'm not sure I get that end part, but yeah, I mean, obviously it is scary. But when you're already saddled with 20.5 million, and you have no organization around anything above that, and a football program. Probably this year, whoever wins the national championship is going to spend at least $30 to $35 million, if not more. To win a natty, you have to. That's just the cost of doing business. I don't know. I don't know how you deal with that. It's a good question though, or a good concern. I just think, look, something's got to change. We got to do better. The way it is now is just simply it has no lifespan. Laura Weiss, Texas Tech in the house. Good to see you, Laura. Laura is an OG moderator in chief and somebody here that has been with us from the very beginning. Good to have you, Laura. Hey, y'all. Texas Tech looking good this year. I know people been just chirping. A big game everybody needs to look forward to is that Texas Tech Utah game. I think that will tell us a lot about how the rest of the season goes. Yeah. And then later in the year, Texas Tech plays BYU, and that could be a championship preview. We'll have to see. Mr. Ed Wayner, representing the University of Houston. Howdy, don't underestimate Houston. Let's get to a bowl game. Actually, Ed, I have Houston winning or getting to a bowl game this year. I think you guys making good strides. You're doing well. Just be patient. It's going to take time, especially compared to where your program was in the recent past. So Houston's on the come up, I believe. Two Mastiff, always the gangster, somebody coming in, always causing trouble. Any idea what the Big Ten's big announcement is? The new era tweet? I didn't see it, Two Mastiff. If you want to post it or somebody wants to tell me what that is, I'm sorry. I just wasn't in the know on that. If it's a new era thing, it's probably a branding deal. Obviously, I'm just reading into that. I don't know. If somebody has the answer for Two Mastiff, please put it in the comments. I don't know the answer to that. Let's see here. Jackson Johnson was up late last night with his own show. Good to see you, Jackson. What's up, College Football Mafia Nation? Jackson has a fantastic channel on Voice of College Football. I encourage you to check him out. He's also an Alabama masterclass fan. Everybody respect Jackson when he's in the house. 11 days till week 0. I cannot tell you. This has been the longest off season. For me, it's been one of the funnest, but it has been a long off season. MBM, the Super League, can't break away without getting their tatas suit off. Antitrust and all that, especially since they're public universities. What do you mean by break away, MBM? And I'd love to have you call in the show. I know sometimes that's difficult for people, and I can't remember if you said you're not comfortable doing that. Obviously, we don't see your face, and not going to expose your name or number or anything. But I'd love to talk to you about that because I think the only you want to be on you want me to be perfectly frank. I think the only way something changes on that end is if it is taken outside of regular college football. It's like put in a next division, which the new governance gives the power to the A4 to do something like that. Take it away from the university, or sorry, take it away from the operations of the rest of the athletic department and just have it be football. I I, I think that could withstand antitrust and other lawsuits. You're going to have any league not included, any school not included, potentially wanting to sue. But I don't. What has stopped changes is in college football in the past? Nothing. So why now all of a sudden are we going to give that any credence? See here, Jason hasn't told me he's going to be late unless he texted me. Give me 1 second. No, he hasn't. Let me just send this to Jason. Give me 1 second. Everything okay? Might have just lost track of time. Sorry about that. That's kind of what we do, and we're a one-hit wonder around here. I would love to talk to you about that in depth, MBM. I need to do another show on my Supra League idea. I think that's the only way something like that happens. At this point, I think the P2 thing is kind of untenable because it's just there's not enough schools involved. If you go uber elite, and there's not enough protection if you don't involve at least half the schools in all of college football. That would, in my opinion, that would make it so they do not, it doesn't pass, or it does pass muster. They get by with it. All right, right now, joining the show, let me get this off here. The man, the legend, that would be Jason Watkins, Hall of Fame college football. How are we doing, Jason?
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
I like the new background. You look studly there.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I thought my other camera and stuff was on, but I guess it's not. So, it's just I got a new computer, and I hadn't used it a whole lot in the studio since I got back. So,
That's
I'm just
okay. You've
using
been
it
on
on
the
there.
road,
On the
road war.
road. Yeah, on the road, man. It's been a fun. It's almost 2 weeks that I was gone, man. So it was a nice little jaunt around the SEC area.
You
Had
still have
fun.
to tell me what that was all about. It's like super secret. I still don't know what you've been doing.
Yeah, well, we've I've got a couple of new things that I'm working on as far as like a new show, and so
Okay.
I don't want to give it away completely, but I'm going to be moving to Oklahoma though here in the next probably few weeks. So
Are you really?
mhm.
So it's good things.
Yeah, good stuff, all good things, all good
All
things.
right. Well, congratulations. I'm super happy for you. You need to give me a call and inform me what's going on.
Yeah, I will do. It's just
Okay.
been the weekend, man. I've been
I,
tired.
I know. I'm teasing you. Okay. So before we do anything else, let me read this John Mateer tweet. Okay. So he sent this out. Obviously, everybody at this point knows the allegations. There were some Venmo, quote unquote, Venmo purchases
Right.
with the notes, nothing else, no official signing. It's not a receipt. It's just a guy like writing in the notes thing on his check. USC versus UCLA gambling, something else gambling, right?
Mm-hmm.
So John Mateer puts out this tweet, and this is what I want to talk about. He says the allegations that I once participated in sports gambling are false. My previous Venmo descriptions did not accurately portray the transactions in question, but were instead inside jokes between me and my friends. I have never bet on sports. I understand the seriousness of the matter, but recognize that, taken out of context, these Venmo descriptions suggest otherwise. I can assure my teammates, coaches, and officials at the NCAA that I have not engaged in any sports gambling. And again, that's John Mateer saying that. And I would just add to that um, it's kind of stupid
It's real
that a college
stupid.
athlete would put anything like that on any description, for one, kidding or not. Two, these are 2.5-year-old, almost 3-year-old comments for
Hmm.
things that happened in 2022, fall of 2022. And last thing I'd say about it is at the end of the day, it's just like a Twitter post. I mean, where is the proof? So you're inside OU Nation. I'm sure today was a lightning rod of attention and everything else. So kind of catch everybody up on where OU Nation is, where you guys are thinking that Sooners are going to go this fall because of this. And do you think anything happens to Mateer?
Well, I think if you're waiting around to see, like, what the NCAA is doing, I feel like that, he'd probably be about ready to retire from the NFL before they finish.
That's true.
So overall, do I think it was a smart thing to do? No. He was 18 at the time. So it's, 18, 19 years old. I've done stupid things myself, and
we all have.
Not just everybody. At the young age of 18, by the way, but
right.
But just kind of looking at it in those terms, I feel like it's more or less, I think it was just what he said it was. I've seen on my own Venmo, and I've had mine private for a little while, but I didn't really realize that you had to try to not make that.
Yeah, isn't that stupid public. That they're right. Public and you have to turn them off, not turn them on? Yeah.
Right, correct. Yeah, it should be one of those deals where, I don't know, and I guess that's the way they go about it. But I've seen a bunch of stuff. You can get on your Venmo feed right now and you'll see where people put stupid stuff for whatever they're paying, and generally it's like pizza or gas or something like that, and you'll just use an emoji. So, yeah, whatever. But I could definitely see where crass, stupid kids would say stupid stuff. And one of the things, if you did look through all that, and somebody had done a screen share,
they did. I'm not gonna waste my time on any.
The recording, but he said some other stuff in there that wasn't exactly. Well, at least I would hope it's not what they were doing. But so there were some things in there that certainly looked like it was just inside jokish, like what he was saying as it was. In the end, do any of us know? No. The one thing I do know is that the NCAA and the schools themselves actually have this software that they're using these days that they would know immediately if one of their players had an online account to where they could gamble, of that kind of stuff.
It's part of the compliance projects, right?
Correct. Okay. So, because if you remember back to what was the kid's name? Deckers, Hunter Deckers.
Yep.
Iowa State, Hunter Deckers. Of course, he had a video of betting with an Iowa fan in a bar, and then he had actual accounts with, like I think it was Bodog or somebody like that. But anyway, they had actual betting slips of where he was doing that, and it turned out that the Iowa State police had a sting on it. And not only did he get caught up in it, but a bunch of players from Iowa and Iowa State did. So that was a huge mess. And I think that that's one of those things that it kind of shook everybody back into reality that, hey, listen, these things are happening, and you need to kind of keep an eye on it. Now, I mean, I think that if he was doing that, you will know at some point, right? I mean, because I'm sure not only would the NCAA be on it, but I know from living in Las Vegas as long as that I did, they look into that immediately. Every sports book that has anything to do with Vegas will immediately be in on that, because Vegas itself cannot afford for there to be games being fixed and stuff like that, messing with their dollars. They won't have it. So I would be more worried. I'd be more worried about Las Vegas itself than I really even would like the NCAA, because again, like I said, it'd be 2030 by the time they did anything. You know what I mean? He'd already be gone. So
what is the outrage then? Is it people want Oklahoma to be down? Is it a jealousy thing? Or are people just incensed because it's against their moral code?
Texas is scared to death of Oklahoma and John Mateer right now. I think it's Texas. It came from the first place I saw was a Deadspin reporter that Deadspin knows nothing of. And then the next thing is Barstool UT. Right. Barstool, Texas. Barstool Longhorns, whatever they call it.
Okay.
They're the ones that have been pushing this. I have yet to see a reputable source say that this was really happening. Not one. And I've been a reporter for a long time. You know that.
I do, yeah.
I looked into it immediately. It started last night. I started looking everywhere and anywhere that I could find it. One of the things that jogged my, memory about like Vegas and being in Vegas is that they don't put up with that. And I thought about that right away too. I hadn't seen anything out of Las Vegas that indicates that that there was anything like that they could see. And believe me, the sports books themselves would be all over it, and they would. I'll just say this: if there is any evidence of him doing that, they would absolutely be on. They'd probably already have it uncovered and out there. So if I mean, it'll be out if at some point if that's a fact. I don't. There's no proof of it through a Venmo transaction, no matter what you say, because you can write anything. And as I'm sure you've seen, they've made all kinds of memes about Arch Manning and stuff like that with the same thing. It looks just as viable as what the other thing did. Now, Mateer said that was certainly his feed. He didn't deny that. But there's no reason to not believe him until you get some kind of proof, because it seems to me like they would have it between the NCAA, the school itself, which if you know anything about Oklahoma, Joe Castiglione came into Oklahoma and has been known as the guy that worries about being in compliance. Joe Compliance is what we've always called him, Joe Compliance. So it is what it is. I feels like they would have found it, and they would have, it would have been something that they would have seen probably before all this. You know what I mean?
So what is your guess then? Does he start day one?
Oh, he's starting day one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so they're not. The Oklahoma's going to run with him and damn the torpedoes. They'll deal with the outcome if something comes up.
Yeah. And again, I think that it already would have come up. I honestly believe that this is a fabricated bunch of crap. The fact that somebody went looking that hard for something like that,
it does seem very circumstantial, like how all of a sudden
Texas. It's so Texas too.
Okay.
Or Oklahoma even. You could even because they just hate Oklahoma. But look, I mean, it is what it is. It's that's the way I'm gonna go with it. If we're gonna talk about this, I'm gonna lean into it for the clicks and say that it was Texas. I don't know. That's just where I'm at.
Okay. I'm in he who has committed no sin cast the first stone. Right. It really, really bugs me when people rush to judgment in this social media age where there's no pause. Somebody hits click and the world thinks that's fact, right? And yet, where's the proof? We still live in a country that requires proof, right?
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, if you can find out where this came from, as far as like, the thing is again, I think he admitted that it came from his feed, and then he obviously made it private or whatever after that.
Right. Well, I think they said he deleted the comments is what it. I don't know. That was last report I saw.
Yeah, it was wiped clean. So I guess if you make it private, then you wouldn't see it then either. So it is what it is. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I think this is the age that we live in, though, right? You don't have to have proof to push it onto somebody, and you can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want, and people should be aware of the fact that, look, that's what there's libel laws that are out there that if you're dragging somebody's name through the mud, you could be in serious trouble for that. You could end up paying through the nose for doing such things. That was one of the things that I learned as a reporter first, was that, man, you better be factual, because if not, you could take the entire newspaper down and everything else with you. You know what I mean? You just, ethics are important. But as we've seen in regular media and everything else, I don't think that that's even the case anymore. I think that, innuendo and everything else is called, slander and libel. Correct. That's right, Tempest.
It's gonna be a story that unfortunately is gonna burn. It's gonna generate negative energy until kickoff. Certainly,
he's gonna have nicknames throughout the SEC. I'm sure.
Right. Every visiting, yes, it's all gonna be place bet here, John Mateer, or something like. There you go. Place bet here, John Mateer. Somebody steal that.
Moneyline Mateer, and Moneyline Mateer was one that was out there last night already. So I kind of adopted that one. But something I was thinking about too, and here's what it could have been, because the dates don't actually match up on that UCLA USC. It was the 19th. Wasn't his on the 22nd, or it was 3 days difference is what it was from that game. but they could have been playing the college football game or something like that online. I mean, it would have been an older version of it, but they could have been doing that, playing against each other and betting against each other, doing that way, and maybe that's what it was. I don't know. I mean, it could have been for anything.
They're
I
just
mean, you pay
it's
each other
Venmo
stuff for pizza
events.
and beer and doing. I mean, who's to say?
Now, look, I'm not saying he didn't do it either. I'll be very clear. And I don't think you are either. We're both just going off the information we have. If facts come out that find out that, yeah, this is him and that's just the way it works, then, it is what it is. But I think it's a situation that we need to be very careful before we get a rush to judgment. You agree with that?
Yeah, yeah. I think overall it's a nothing burger, and you know, if it becomes something in it, then yeah, it'll be out there, and you'll have to deal with it as it is. But I think that the evidence does not right now. It shows up that there's no evidence. So, again, he was 18 years old at the time. We've all probably done worse
Yeah. Oh,
than
sure.
write something stupid. It just didn't get out there for everybody because we didn't all grow up in the internet era. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
So
No. Absolutely. And you and I have not spoken about this. I mean, it's
no,
not. We haven't had a conversation. I just invited you on the show to get your opinion,
no, I
and
appreciate you
I
doing it.
think it's. I
I
think
kind
it's
of
really
chuckled when
important.
I saw the text. I was like, "Oh, good, here we go."
Well, trying to track you down is like trying to catch lightning. It's just
Oh,
very
come on, bro.
difficult.
Come on.
All right, before you go, and I know you're on a timeline, you want to tell everybody about your channel and kind of what you got going?
Yeah, we're going 3 times a week in the mornings. We're in the morning tomorrow morning at it's 10:30 Eastern time, so uh 8:30
Mountain,
8:30 Mountain, right?
right?
Yeah, yeah, 8:30 Mountain time. We go for Rise and Shine College Football. That's 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We've got our show here tonight in about an hour. Generally, we go about now, but Coach is coaching his grandson's
Oh,
football
good.
team right now, so he won't be done with practice for another 20 minutes. So we're gonna go an hour later than normal. But it's at HOF-CFB right here on YouTube. You can check us out there, and then as you can see on the screen there, that's my Twitter handle at JW_HOF. So yeah, keep up with us, man. We got a lot of stuff coming up. We're excited about it, and I appreciate you having me on, Bomber. It's always good to come on, even if it's talking about dumb stuff like this. It's
Oh yeah, for sure.
always
Let's
good.
I can we football can't come soon enough. That's all I can
No,
say.
no, I'm so ready for that part, and it's as soon as it gets to be where it's time for to talk about things that are happening in games and leading up to
Yes.
games,
Yeah.
it's so much better, so much better.
I appreciate you so much, Jason, for coming on. He is Jason Watkins, Hall of Fame college football. And tell Coach I said hi. It's been a minute.
Will do, man. Hey, you got to get on in the morning with us. I know you don't do the morning as much with us, but you've been on a
I'm
few
an old
times.
man. I sleep later.
So do I generally do other than those days, but I get it.
uh,
Now,
I'll,
listen, if you want to pop in with us anytime, you've got a
I,
standing invitation with us. We love having you
oh,
on.
thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Jason. Jason Watkins. We'll see you later. Have a great night.
See you guys.
Peace. All right, everybody. He is Jason Watkins, Hall of Fame college football. Somebody that is absolutely in charge when it comes to the way college football runs and Oklahoma. He has a great channel. Definitely go and subscribe. And he's if anything else, Jason's very entertaining. And anybody who says otherwise, I will fight right now. All right. So, do we have the material stuff out of us? You guys want to talk about the topic, and I'll open the phone lines. You can yell at me. Is that what you want to do? I'm looking at comments, and you guys have been going at it over here. I apologize. There's no way I can track these while I'm doing stuff on my own. I like Joseph Kerlegan says, I like the spend to win for college football. My favorite college, Notre Dame, better break out that pocketbook and start spending like crazy. Hey, look, Joseph, it's the world we live in, brother. You got to pay to play. And that is not going away. I don't care, college, the CBA, any of that. That is not going to go away. Money is going to drive the world when it comes to college football. Okay. Enough about all of that and me and everything else. I'm going to open up the phone lines feel free to call. It's 801-899, what is it, 6203? I want to make sure I get to it. 801-899-6203. Call in right now and let's talk about whatever you want to talk about. And I think I've got everything working. So that's there. I will stick with comments as long as, and there we already calling. Go. Caden the Diesel Freak. Everybody put your hand up. Let me know. Can you hear Caden? How you doing, Caden? Oh, brother. I think they can, yes.
Us old. The money has ruined this beloved sport, and not only has it ruined a beloved sport that we all know and love, it's just screwing us over. And you know what, Nathan? I can 100% agree with you. I may be 21, but I want the pure version of college football. No money involved, just college boys going at it, 60 minutes, no excuses, and you know that.
Well, for sure. I mean, if we could be in a perfect world, that's what I think. Everybody has a chance to win the whole thing in a perfect world. I just don't know that we can get there anytime soon.
And here's the other, and I'm going to say the shocker news to you, John. Guess what happened? I had that officially been banned from all Michigan channels now because they hate my guts because I humiliated the Michigan channel just earlier today, and I just embarrassed the guy.
Okay. All right. So what do you think about, just outside of money ruining or making football better, what is the financial piece that you're most concerned about?
I feel like if they're going to be wasting all these monies on brand deals, blah, 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 et cetera, it's really just messing with, sports bets and, people are betting a lot of money. Like, okay, betting on a game, okay, that's fine by everything. But, like, you shouldn't be receiving, like, the betting money from, if someone bets a game to win or somebody bets that someone will lose. Like, that's just, in my opinion, a little bit over the top. And that's just my personal opinion, Nathan, that I could be wrong. Someone can disagree with me. Someone could call on in and tell me that I'm delusional or crazy. And you know what? Besides that, I pointed it out even to Mark Rogers on Twitter, and yet he ignored my Twitter post. And then just yesterday, you wouldn't believe this. Mark Rogers went onto Twitter and literally called me out saying I am a moron.
Hey.
Really, Mark? Really, Mark? Really? I just pointed out some simple facts to you, yet you and everybody else across your fan base thinks I'm crazy for saying the things I do. Well, unfortunately, Mark, I'm just the way I am, and if you can't respect me for that, that's your problem. But Nathan, I do have a content announcement. I just made, but I think you'll like to hear what I have. So tomorrow night at 6 p.m., I am announcing a big project I am doing with some fellow sneaker content creators because I just went to SneakerCon this past weekend in Columbus for the first time ever. And we're going to be collabing at Dave & Buster's Friday night at 6 p.m. And there's going to be a live stream on Instagram. I'll be sure to post it in my YouTube post so you know where to look. And be sure to follow that page on Instagram and YouTube of the sneaker/food reviewer on YouTube. But also, someone is, particularly me, next month, I'm going on a 20 versus 1 blind date challenge to find my first sweetheart.
Wow. That is something else.
I'll tell you what, Nathan, the guys that are doing it for me have bumped the stakes of. Now, they didn't go with any average women. Oh, no, Nathan. If someone's going to be fit for Caden the Diesel Freight, they got to be. I'm going to tell you, my heart's going to be racing, but I'm going to tell you what, Nathan, I'll be posting some pics on the YouTube post of my announcement of the first girlfriend, and you know what? Everybody can send their congratulations to my YouTube page, my Twitter page, and Nathan, you should know my Twitter page at Hollywood Caden the Final Boss, which You know what, Nathan? I feel like you know what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like I feel like I'm a Hollywood star right now. You know why? Because everything is going well for me. I got a good YouTube algorithm. I got some good friends in you guys, the College Football Mafia, which, by the way, best YouTube channel on YouTube. By the way, just so everybody's clear, the voice of college football, they can kiss my rear end and say goodbye because they're not fit for the man, the myth, the legend known as Caden the Diesel Freak. By the way, if you don't follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at Hollywood Caden the Final Boss. Hey, maybe who knows? I might be posting some vlogs with the girlfriend, with the future sweetheart. So you guys can stay tuned, and I promise you, it will be friendly. It will be family friendly. I promise you. There's nothing going to be crazy. I promise you, Nathan. There ain't going to be nothing crazy.
Okay, Caden. I'm going to let you go,
sorry.
but I appreciate
I'm sorry.
you calling in.
I'm sorry for stealing the show, Nathan, but I just had to get it off my chest because I'm like, you're an awesome individual, and you know what? You're one of the individuals that I really respect, and you know what? You deserve to hear this from me because I respect you, but also you're one of the most respectable men on YouTube, which I give you credit for, Nathan. So I'll leave it to you. And as always, you know what I say, go Bucks. Follow me on Twitter at Hollywood Caden the Final Boss, and don't forget to subscribe to my page because you don't want to miss out on the sweetest content ever, but also you'll be getting some behind the scenes of a day in the life of this, the most hated, the most tough OSU fan, and the most tough SOB on the planet who's a farmhand, by the way. So be sure to stay tuned, College Football Mafia. If you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. Nathan, did you see my Twitter post, by the way?
I can't remember. I'll have to go back and check. I thought I did.
I shouted you out on Twitter, by the way, at Nathan, the Big 12 Bomber, and the Big 12 College Football Mafia. I gave the College Football Mafia the biggest shout out on Twitter, which, by the way, let me just say this. By the way, I've gotten over 200 likes on that. And wow. Can I just say this to Nathan so you can at least know?
Real quick.
Do you know Burke Steve, the very red hot-headed Wolverine fan that
I don't.
gets on?
I don't.
Well, just be warning you because he has been on YouTube rampaging about, BYU fans calling you guys idiots, morons. He's been saying the most horrendous things. And truth be told, I just want you to be careful because that is a Michigan Wolverine fan who does not care about anybody. But if you anybody comes across Burks the Wolverine, just please be careful because that guy will rant on and he will just say the most profane things for like 2 hours. And I swear to you, I'm not lying. So,
all right.
Just a fair warning.
Thank you very much, Caden. It's great to talk to you tonight. We'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Yes, sir, Nathan. Go Bucks.
Okay, go Bucks. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. Oh, thank you, Caden. You being the first one to call in. And look, it takes all kinds, everybody. I respect you. You respect me. We get in here. We have a little fun. It doesn't bother me at all. Tempest says, lol, Caden advertising himself, whatever. I just don't. That's cool with me. I don't care. I will say this. I am a fan of Mark Rogers, voice of college football. Kate and I have a different experience there, but I certainly respect his opinion and appreciate him being here tonight. Make sure you dial in right now and let's talk business of college football. 801-899-6203, and I will get you right on the air, and we will talk. Boy, I sound like a radio guy. How old am I now? Okay, playing the hits. Casey Kasem. If you know, you know. Let's see here. Let's get to more comments while I'm waiting for the next person to call in. 801-899-6203. Really quick reset. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. If you're on X watching right now, do me a favor. We're 130 away from 5,000 by the end of the summer. I set that mark months ago, and a lot of people thought it was a stretch get. I think we can make it. We need 30 new subs tonight. So if you're watching right now on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If you're on X, jump over to YouTube, College Football Mafia, and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a comment. Let us know how we're doing. Moen reads most of those. All right, let's see here. David Kreitzer says, I've never met an Ohio State fan that loves the SEC more than his own conference. Mark Rogers, I tip my hat to you, sir. All right, well, look, I'm not going to – Mark and I are friends, so I'm not gonna get into marking him down at all. People's experiences are all different. All right, next call.
Call from
Evil Badger.
Evil Badger, what's up, brother?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing, Nathan?
I'm doing okay. Trying to keep the lights on around here. I hope you're having fun.
Yeah, well, I survived the flooding in Milwaukee over the weekend.
Yeah, prayers to those people. That was horrible. Absolutely horrible. I'm glad you brought that up.
Because I was coming back from a Brewer game and almost got caught in it.
Oh, brother. Well, I'm glad that didn't happen.
But the reason why I called was, did you read my super chat from earlier?
I did read it. You want me to? I'll bring it up
Okay.
again. But yeah, I definitely read it.
Because I joined late.
Oh no, that's okay. Yeah, I've got it up right now. What do you want to say about it?
The in your thumbnail it said pay the players like pros.
Right.
I wonder what you meant by that, because a lot of it is the universities can't compete like the NFL.
You're right.
They can't.
No, I agree with you 100%. I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to let you know we did discuss this a little bit earlier in the show. This is what I think needs to happen is there needs to be a standardization of some point. Look, if you're let's just assume, I think that original tweet or comment that had come up was about the Arch Manning stuff, getting millions and up to $10 million to play college football. Why would you leave college, run the risk, and you could play 2 years to make $20 million, have most of it tax free, because most NIL stuff the states have made tax free, and then go to the NFL? That's the question I'm posing.
I thought that was Underwood from Michigan. That
he got the guy that started. Dang it! Not Barstool. Was it Barstool?
Yeah, Barstool.
Yeah,
it was Portnoy.
Yeah, Portnoy. That's right. He got $12 million. But was that all paid at once, or was that for like over 3 years? I don't know the details on his deal.
But I just don't see how they can continue paying, the universities can continue paying these amounts of money to players. Well, and only about less than 1% make the NFL.
Right. Which is another reason to stay playing college. Why take the risk?
Right.
I'm not saying it's right or it's good, Ryan. Don't misunderstand me. I think the system is essentially broken. Everybody can try to exploit it. All Texas Tech, BYU to a smaller extent are trying to do that, but I don't know. All I'm saying is schools can't put their head in the sand. Like Wisconsin needs to do everything they can with their boosters to compete, and you know that better than I do.
Right.
And you have to have your alumni base has to be so many millions of people. I can't imagine if they really wanted to, they couldn't spend the money. Not to say they would.
I think they're waiting for a winning program right now. And I honestly believe that if Fickle doesn't make a bowl game this year, the boosters are going to pressure the athletic program to cut ties with Fickle.
I agree with you. I think that's more than likely. What any more new coaches get about 3 years, 3 or 4 years max to either do it or not. But again, that's because of money. People are impatient because they want to win. They're spending money.
And the thing is,
okay, he did so well at Cincinnati, but he did have an interim year at Ohio State where he only had a 6-6 record that 1 year.
Right.
And I just believe that he was a 1-year wonder at Cincinnati.
Well, and I mean, let's be honest. He was playing in the AAC.
Exactly, and that's what I commented to some of the Wisconsin podcasters, and I'm like,
Right.
they just ignore me.
Well, I
So
think people like to live in their own world, right? Nobody wants to talk negative about their school. I have look, I have all kinds of problems with the people that are embedded into BYU, like world.
right.
I mean, they're just, I mean, I don't know. There's some really just super blue people that can't see the other side of a penny. I'm sure Wisconsin, every school has people like that. So you're more pragmatic. You're a thinker,
Well, I'm realistic,
right?
and I guess that's where I'm going to end with is I'm realistic. I honestly don't think Feckle can do the job to take the Badgers to the next level. I just hope that they beat Minnesota and get the X back.
Well, I'm always pulling for you. You and Flugar, I gotta keep you guys on the same table. But I appreciate you. First, thank you so much, Ryan, for your super chat and your membership. I appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thanks for taking my call.
Always,
right,
always.
bye.
We'll see you later. All right, bye-bye. All right. Back to back. Good calls. Ryan Willie in the house. Somebody that helps keep the lights on. If you feel like you're more inclined to do something like Ryan, we certainly take all super chat new members. And let's talk about new members because right now we've got another one. Charlie Casado has become a new member of our YouTube page. And I really appreciate that, Charlie. Make sure you check out our library of member videos. And they just keep getting better and better. Wild Ute has been putting out these videos that are just fantastic on the business of call and realignment and all of it. Charlie, thank you so much for your membership. I really appreciate it.
Call from
Daniel.
Daniel, Mr. Gygax. We got a new member, Charlie Casado, Daniel.
I just saw that. I'm gonna complain a little bit about you, talking about money and stuff like that in sports. Money has always been in sports from day one.
Yeah.
The people that are complaining it's ruining football, they want to see pure football. I think that was you can go watch Division III football. There's no scholarships awarded. They absolutely, basically, those players are paying their own way to play football.
Absolutely.
And oh yeah, by the way, there's absolutely no media contract when it comes down to it.
Clarify that. What do you mean?
Meaning that they're not showing Division III football games on TV.
Oh, right. No, for sure. Yeah, the money.
There's no media contract on that.
Yeah, no, you're right. And what is it? FCS football? That's another.
Yeah. FCS football. Some of them make a little money, but we're not talking a lot. Like a Big Sky Conference in Missouri Valley, those guys will make a little bit of money. But if you're looking at like further down, like a Division II, like a Mountain East or Big South, something like that,
right?
Or they make no money at all. So there is that option out there that if you just want to watch pure football, you can watch Division III. Division II does offer scholarships. I don't know how many. It used to be 36 for football, but I think that number is up. But Division III offers none.
Well,
and
answer
you'll see
me this, Daniel. Why does Why are people complaining at all?
I don't know. I mean,
it is what it
I
is,
mean,
right? It's not even
yeah. I mean, if you like, I know WVU is probably going to be in the same financial mess Iowa State is.
Yeah, did you see that today? I
Yes.
forwarded that on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah. They're going to be about $20 million in debt. WVU, if you look
That's
at
right.
WVU's finances, they're about on par with Iowa State. And going to the university, they're not allowed to put their hand out to get a lot of money from the university.
Who
They
is
have
it?
to pay for everything.
Who
WVU.
I know.
Iowa State's the same way.
You mean
Iowa State's supposed to be self-funded. Same thing with WVU. It's supposed
so?
to
What
be
you're saying is
100%
the state
self-funded.
legislatures aren't supposed to be underwriting them like the state of Arizona.
Yeah. Yeah.
The state of Arizona literally has paid almost $70 million to keep, probably more than that, to keep both
Yes.
their main universities solvent. $70 million
Yeah.
taxpayer money.
Ohio State, I want to say it was either 26 or 36 million that the university had to cut a check for the athletic department this past year.
Okay.
So if universities want to go ahead and cut those checks, it's nice. But like I said, there's universities out there that, like I said, West Virginia is going to be in the same situation Iowa State's in. They can't hold their hand out and ask for money. But everybody that's worried about football being ruined or college athletics being ruined, it's not. I don't worry about it. West Virginia plays in 2.5 weeks. In 11 days, we got Farmageddon. It's all fun.
Look,
Yeah.
you know my Supra League idea, right?
Yes,
you
I do.
understand
Yeah.
how that works, and
Yes,
what
I
I
do.
said in that presentation, which I need to redo, by the way, an update, is a
Yeah.
litmus test. I think there should be a minimum participation. If your school cannot do this, and this minimum requirements, you're not going to be playing upper division football. It would be immediately it would separate the pretenders from the contenders. If they put something
Exactly.
like in that was a litmus test, some membership minimum, that could do the winnowing, and you wouldn't have to create a super league. It would just be they change the rules, and you have to meet these criteria. I mean, why can't it just be that simple? I think the answer, and then I'll let you talk. I think the reason it's not that simple is because college football is all about passion, and you have very passionate, very smart, wealthy people involved in these college brands. If you tell them tomorrow, hey, you're not, Tulane raises $3.5 million, Boise State raises more than 30, and you say who is who, that right there will tell you you need to step up. FedEx money needs to go into Tulane football. FedEx needs to be writing $100 million check to underwrite, because you can't be subsisting on $3 million donations. What do you think about all of that?
I agree with you 100%. But underwriting, whenever you sit there and say, there's only so many companies willing to cut.
Oh, sure.
Like $40 million check.
I agree.
And whenever you're sitting there talking about, let's just say the Power 4 universities, there's 68 of them.
Yeah.
How many of them are able to shake down insert name of company and end up getting 40 million? It's difficult.
It's less than 30, I think.
Yeah, even 30 million, it gets difficult.
No, I mean less than 30 schools.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think. I think that list is very short. It's definitely a minority.
Yes. And you were asking about if you put your picks in for the CFP. You haven't yet.
Okay, but they're out there on Discord.
Yeah, I was about ready to start doing the slide, and I noticed I was the only one that had the picks up.
Yeah, it's because we're all stupid, Daniel. Just remind everybody.
No, you're not stupid. It's not stupid.
It is stupid. I'm the one who asked for it. I take responsibility.
No, it's not stupid at all. Like I said, I was sitting there looking there, and I was like, wait a second. did I was sitting there thinking, it's like, did I publish this? Did
I
I
know we
talk
talked
about
about
this?
it.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Well,
okay.
post on Twitter and our team page and let everybody know. Get off their asses and make their picks.
Okay.
All
Thanks,
right.
Nate.
Okay. Thank you,
That's
Daniel.
fun.
Appreciate it. He is Daniel Gygax, the Daniel Gygax. And yeah, I had a natural affinity with Daniel because I know how to say his last name. And there aren't a lot of people who know how to say his last name. Let's see, where are we at? I just screwed up my control panel. Joking. I don't know what just happened. Well, hopefully it'll pop up. All right, call in right now, 801-899-6203. We are talking the business of college football, and I want to hear your opinions about where we're at. Some people don't care, but a lot of people are passionate, and I think more people are on the outs than on the ins. Charlie Casado, new made member. Again, I'm going to clap him in. Thank you so much, Charlie. Watch the U.S. gymnastics tourney, and sad to see schools cutting these programs just for football and basketball. I'm nodding, agreeing. That's why some of us are complaining, and universities are cutting majors as well. I'm sorry. I should have written it down. I don't remember the university, but there's one university that, and it's one of hundreds that have come out and said they're going to pay players, and they said they're only going to pay in 5 sports. I can't remember them. Again, this was something it was an afterthought I should have marked down. But football, basketball, obviously baseball. But then every school has it, like Utah, they're going to do skiing and gymnastics. They dominate gymnastics and skiing. Why not? I mean, if that's your thing, you go to Iowa State wrestling, right? But again, if we're talking about Iowa State, they're like kind of an exemplar. And maybe we'll do a video on this, a short video, just on the Iowa State situation. So already they have problems. They were going to build a multi-million-dollar wrestling arena. Years ago, it was approved. It hasn't even, if it started, it's not near completion. It's behind, to say the least. That's a big deal in Iowa State. I mean, that's massive. If you're talking to an Iowa State fan, they're wrestling. I'm in Iowa, like synonymous, right? Note, BYU used to be a power in the 70s and early 80s, but dropped wrestling years ago. So I just don't know. Charlie, thank you so much for becoming a new member. I genuinely appreciate it. I hope you stick around and help us build this thing. We just keep going from strength to strength. I appreciate you here. Call now and let's talk. 801-899-6203. I will continue with new comments. Brent 2, new to the channel. I've never seen you before. Welcome. Make sure you subscribe. I appreciate you watching on YouTube. Thank you so much. Give us a comment or question and give us a thumbs up and a like and all that fun stuff. Agreed. BYU football, UCLA shouldn't be in the same conference as Rutgers. Yeah, boy. I mean, if we could redo realignment and there weren't biases, and yes, I'm an aggrieved BYU fan. Of the outside of BYU has had the most arduous journey in college football in the last 53 years. Nobody can compete. The least appreciated, probably most overperforming. I think Jeff Fuller might have proved that in some data yesterday or today, but I can't remember for sure. The bottom line is, I would say UCLA has got to step up, start competing. I mean, it's UCLA, but come on, man, you're in LA. You have access to hundreds of millions of dollars. You're right in the heart of California. I mean, give me a break. Why UCLA doesn't have a top 10 team every year, I will never know. Never understand. Brent, too, it's good to have you here. Thank you so much. Appreciate your comment. Let's see here. Brent, just to follow up, he also says regional football is always better. One thing me and Utes fans can agree with you on. Yeah. Utah is another underappreciated school. Yeah. I mean, that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's see here. Let's look for some new comments from people I haven't seen tonight. Tempest says Florida Southern is fire in the NAIA. There you go. Tempest, thank you for being a member. I really appreciate you. The Big Lubbock, what's up, bro? Texas Tech, looking good. You know, I've said that a million times. You have to operate your football and men's basketball as an NFL or NBA business. I think you just say NFL/NBA. You need to have general managers, coaches recruit. They don't deal in the money at all. The assistants do a majority of the work, and the coach leads. It is modern. It is the NFL. Why are people? That's an open question. And if you're watching 801-899-6203, I hope that's right. Why is everybody so upset about this financial stuff? I'm actually kind of surprised by how upset and aggrieved people are when we talk about money in college football. It's not new. I need somebody to call in and tell me how they feel. 801-899-6203. Let's keep going with comments. David Kreitzer, I marked this. Good to have you here, David. Number one, Arch Manning is making $6.8 million. Carson Beck is $4.3 million. Jeremiah Smith is $4.2 million. And Garrett Nussmeier is $3.8 million. So Texas, Miami, Ohio State, and LSU. Let's see. 1, 2. I think Miami is a blue blood. I don't care what Nebraska fans say. Ohio State. Yeah, those are all. Isn't LSU a blue blood? I think somebody correct me on the official blue blood list. If they're not, they should be. LSU is another multinational championship power. But yeah, those are all. They're paid what they're worth to their schools. These football. I mean, Ohio State's budget is like $300 million or something. Their operating budget. That's how much they get. And they spend most of it. They spend all of it, I'm pretty sure. Do you want to compete or not? What are you with a wall? I don't think there's anything negative to say about that. It is what it is. Let's see here. Brent 2 says, I don't think they're officially a blue blood, but LSU is 3 natties this century. That's blue blood to me. I agree, Brent. I'm not. For some reason, I thought they were, but somebody, I think it was either a USC, I think it was a USC fan that said there's only 8 blue bloods, and somebody put out a tweet that said there were 12. Miami was on that list. I think Miami is a blue blood. And I just think it's funny how there's elite and then there's uber elite and then it just keeps going and going. It never ends, by the way. Thank you, Brent, too. I really appreciate you. Jansen Roberts, thanks for being here, man. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. I appreciate you coming on tonight. Even the Big 12, Big 10, and ACC coaches all have SEC bias in their poll. Yeah, the SEC bias is real. It exists in our world today. Everything college football is owned by ESPN. How do we not? I don't know how people can even argue the opposite. The SEC bias is a real thing in the world, and I don't think it's going away. The Big Lubbock, put on your blue jeans, cotton, drive crude to your favorite steakhouse, cattle, and you will be supporting West Texas. And he should have added Go Texas Tech in there. I'm not sure why he didn't. As a reminder, Jose says Miami has 5 natties. I knew that, but that's what I was trying to get to. Ryan Willie with another $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Ryan. Ryan's a valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. We appreciate him. OG, Ryan Willie. Are you going to buy the ESPN Fox bundle? It's a great question. That was actually I had a list and I don't know where my list went. I sat down, my list was gone. Yes. No, I'm not. I originally was going to. I asked Bob Thompson about it, and he says, really all you're still going to get the local stuff. There probably won't be blackouts. But what? $40 a month for what? ESPN already does everything. Fox, I get over the air. CBS and NBC. Peacock, I get with my Xfinity bundle. I don't personally need it. Now, if you're out in the sticks and you have no access, you either have satellite TV or your provider isn't very, connected, like Xfinity, owns the world essentially, then I can see you bundle it. Yeah, but I'm telling you right now, $40 is just the beginning. Price will probably go up next year to $50. And then who knows? Once you're in it, you cannot get out of it. I will put it that way. Like we all have cell phones. Back in the day, a cell phone was a luxury. Now we've lost our house phones, right? Nobody has a house phone anymore. Phone lines don't exist almost. And everything is virtualized. So once you're in, you cannot walk away from your cell phones. You cannot walk away from the bundle once it's in it, in my opinion. Our GRA. Championships are only part of the measure of blue blood. Bowl wins and total wins are important. Take a look at the top teams with total wins. There's only a handful with over 900. I'm going to do a quick search. Give me 1 second. Sorry, live television. I'm asking Grok a question. He will tell us. Grok will tell us. 900. I mean, look, there's all kinds of brands that win. How far do we want to go back? In my opinion, anything before 1972 doesn't matter. That's when modern football was born. It's when Lavelle Edwards came in and changed offense, and everything changed. Everybody started doing things differently, except for Air Force. Even Nebraska and Oklahoma went away from the wing tee and the 3 backs. Anyway, that's I think 900 wins is a good measure. I don't think it's the only measure though, because we've been playing football long over 100 years. So anyway, good comment though, Gra. It's great to see you. Thank you again so much for being here. Let's see if I can go. Any more comments? Join me. This is a call-in show. You guys aren't calling. You're making me talk all the time. I hate that. 801-899-6203. Am I really that entertaining? Jose says Android TV and VPN. That way you can spoof where you're actually localized, so you can watch whatever you want whenever you want. Hey, if it works for you. Back in the day, you would do. I haven't done anything like that in a very long time, though. Let's see. Keep your comments coming. I appreciate them all. Let's see here. Steve Moser earlier, and I meant to get this. I apologize, Steve. Thanks for watching tonight. Capitalism on steroids has ruined a lot of industries, college football included. I guess maybe. What is ruined? Exactly. Maybe that's what this whole show should have been titled. What is ruining college football? You can't tell me none of you have opinions about this. I understand if you don't want to call in, but I mean, really? I mean, yeah, the world is super different than it was in 1996. Super duper different. So money is not leaving anytime soon. I mean, it is what it is all I'm saying. Steve Moser's super smart, though. He understands. He gets it, as it were. Tempest earlier said, guilty to proven innocent. Still talking about Mateer. Yeah, I think that's Tempest in a teapot, everybody. Follow the story. Don't follow the story. But I think it's kind of silly. I just think, good luck proving anything the kid did wrong. I don't know where that goes. Daniel Gygax earlier said, at David Floyd, let's just say the ACC is in trouble. Yeah, just to follow up on that comment, I am working on something, ACC, Big 12, valuation, 20, 30, 31, and kind of where the data is tracking. Obviously, we're talking about guesses, educated guesses about where everybody's going to be. In my opinion, I've been saying this since I started the social media thing, that the Big 12 is going to be in a better position, not because the Big 12 is just better than the ACC, but because the ACC is going to lose brands. I don't know how many. We've talked about it for years now, but they're going to lose somebody, and that's going to re-affect the ACC contract in some way. We're not sure how. Just so everybody knows, I did reach out to Bob Thompson on this topic. He has confidentiality things with the ACC, did consulting with them, so he couldn't tell me anything. But what that tells me is that it's very complex what the ACC is going through. And unfortunately, they're the last conference to have realignment, which means they have the last of the best remaining options. USF is not going to replace Florida State or Miami or Clemson, or you just go down the line. You go to Virginia Tech, I think, is a way undervalued brand. Louisville, highly coveted. They'd be fantastic if they were in the Big 12. I hope that happens, but I'm not sure when. I just think the ACC has too many troubles. Hate me, don't hate me, but that's where I think we're at with it. Let's see here. Keep going. If you guys don't want me to talk anymore tonight, I appreciate it. It's cool. We don't have to stay on all night tonight. Our Graw says 8 power teams have hit that measure: Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, Notre Dame, Texas, Oklahoma, Penn State, Nebraska, in that order. That's it. 900 wins has to be a milestone. That every one of those schools already is. Penn State a blue blood? I know Michigan is. Is Penn State a blue blood? That's the only question I have. Does anybody? Is Penn State? I know Penn State was on that list of the amended, the 12. Penn State's not listed as a traditional blue blood, is it? I don't think so. And Shonsky says no. He confirms that. Thanks, Shonsky. Appreciate you fact checking on me. Let's see. Running out the string here. If you don't want to talk tonight, I'm cool with that. If you don't want to call in, we can go. I appreciate all the comments tonight. Certainly the super chats and the new memberships. Call me 801-899-6203. We are talking college football finances and everything else that goes with that. There was one tweet that I wanted to bring up. Let's see. Justin, I apologize. I should have qualified that. I do not mean to diss USF. All I'm saying is they are not a like-for-like trade. I should have qualified it. It's my fault. I apologize. Not trying to make you upset. It's certainly not a USF dig. Why USF got a catch? Stray bro. We did nothing wrong, but hate UCF. Okay, I'm good with that. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah, I'm sorry. that was not good. I'm sorry about that. Let's go with this really quick. Where are we at here? So, oh yeah, by the way, Tempest says, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button. It's free to do. Thank you so much, Tempest. Thanks for being a member. I really, really appreciate it. Let's see here. Where's my get rid of comment button? All right, just really quick. The most overrated teams via Brett McMurphy. Like him, don't like him. This is what his opinion is. Going by all the ratings and everything, people overperforming and underperforming, this is the most overrated teams in the last 10 years. USC, Auburn, Texas A&M. I would make Texas A&M number 1, by the way. LSU, don't they have a natty in there? Wisconsin, that's rough. Florida State, I think that's wow. Oregon, I think is hilarious, if nothing else. OU, I don't know. Miami? Michigan? I mean, these are all, obviously there's blue bloods in this list. Most overrated. Goes to Stanford, who definitely had, where have they gone? North Carolina, UCLA, Georgia, Alabama, Clemson. Then we have the Arkansas Razorbacks, Utah Utes, which again, I agree with. I think the well, let's not get into that. Notre Dame, Nebraska. These are all blue bloods. This is hilarious. Texas, South Carolina, Iowa State, Kansas State, and Ohio State made the list. And these are all teams that have multiple national championships in the 10 years he's measuring. I just found that interesting. I don't know if anybody else cares. It's what I think is funny. Most overrated. That really cracks me up. Tempest says, was this guy smoking crack? Yeah, I don't know. He used some metrics in the tweet. In fact, you know what I did? I did a disservice there. Let me get the tweet. Oh.
Call from
Our girl.
Argraw, can you hear me, brother?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Can everybody else hear Argraw? If you can't hear Argraw, put your hand up. Let me know. Okay. Hey, what's up, brother?
No, nothing too much. I missed a big chunk of the show. I was here for the beginning. I kind of ducked out in the middle, and I rejoined when the whole blue blood conversation was going on.
Okay.
And I guess my question, or I guess the explaining is, was a definition ever really nailed down? Because, you know, I think that there's teams out there that are definitely blue bloods, and then for whatever reason, some people maybe feel that they're not. And
Yeah, I don't
I
think
look at it.
It's a fan thing, isn't it? I mean, there is no official designation for blue blood. It's not like a title or anything.
Right. It's just I'm just wondering about, you know, sort of if there's any, I don't want to say consensus, because you're not going to get a consensus, but anything that a lot of people could possibly, you know, agree on. What about you? If you were to say this program is a blue blood, what would you say makes them that blue blood? What are some of the criteria, I guess, is what I'm asking.
Great question. I appreciate you asking me a question. That doesn't happen all the time. I will say this. I think you guys have hit on a lot of, I think national championships matter. I think total win count matters, even though a lot of those wins were done before people threw the ball down the field. And then I think public perception. You cannot disregard what the public feels about the strength of a school. I think it's ridiculous when USC says there are only 8 and there will never be more, and Miami isn't one, when they've won 5 national championships, which I believe is pretty high in the total national championship count. So those are the 3 things I would point to.
Right. Yeah, I think it's insane to say that there's a number and it's capped like it's an exclusive club.
Right.
I think that's idiotic. And you know, that's someone who, there's a lot of, we'll call it snobbery.
Sure.
If that's going to be the case, you know, if we're talking blue bloods, you know, if we're looking at the criteria, I mean, to me, it makes the most sense that you have to have multiple titles. That's a given. Right. Like, you can't just have a title, you have to have multiple titles.
Agreed.
I think that and say what you want now about, you know, bulls, although there's still, to say that there's no value or no meaning in bulls at all, that's not true. It is true to say that it's lessened than times in the past. That part is true. Right. But even so, that's a more recent occurrence. So bulls 100% matter in the context of the entirety of a program. So I think that you have to reach a certain threshold. You have to have a lot of bowl appearances, but also have a high percentage winning of those. It's one thing to show up and get wrecked. It's another to actually show up and have a win. So I think that you need to have a high percentage of wins of bulls, and you have to make a lot of bulls. And then, like I said, the other one, I think, is total wins. I think that's a given for a program, because while it's true, some programs, you know, they've been around a long time, so they're going to rack up wins. But realistically, time-wise, there isn't a lot of time between a lot of these major programs in their football schedules, them actually playing football. So to me, that seems like that's a relatively level playing field. Of course, maybe there's newer teams that are out there. Of course, I understand that. But when you're talking about your big major brands, whether it's Georgia, USC, Tennessee, Notre Dame, Penn State, Oklahoma, whatever, their total games that they've played, they're all about the same.
Yeah.
In fact, if I have the list in front of me right now of total wins, Michigan has played 1,400 wins. Okay, that's fine. I go all the way down. We're talking top 20. Number 20 on the list, now this is including some Ivy League schools as well, would be Auburn. They're at 1,300. Then if I go down to all the way down to number, let's call it 50, which is Dayton, 1,100. I'm looking at the list. They're all playing about the same amount of games.
Yeah.
So that's why I revert back to, okay, you're going to have to take the top batch. That's going to be a big part of it too. And like I pointed out, there's only 8 power schools, because the other one is Yale, but 8 power schools that ever hit 900 wins, and it stops at Nebraska. So I'm going to say that that's a really, really big milestone, that you're separating yourself from the rest of the pack. So if they're in that top part and they have many bowl wins and they have multiple championships and have multiple undefeated seasons as well, I don't know what more you need in terms of a definition for them to be, a blue blood. And I think the other part of it too is they have to have sustained
Yes.
success as well.
That's right.
That's the other one, I think. Yes. So I'm looking at someone, if someone wants to bring up a Clemson, well, yes, Clemson has had a lot of success, especially recent success.
They've got like 3 natties, right?
I don't know if they have 2 or 3. I'm not 100% sure.
Didn't they won 2 this century, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then they won in 1980, I think.
Was it them or was it George? I think George was 80.
SMU. I thought they won one in the 80s. Regardless, it doesn't matter. Keep going. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, it's the idea though. Let's say you had a spurt where it's really good for like a decade.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Yeah.
Okay, then all of a sudden that kind of muddies the water a little bit. So I think you have to have multiple national championships, multiple undefeated seasons. You have to have a high percentage of bowl victories. You got to be on the top end of total wins, and it has to come from a place of sustained success. It's okay to have lulls, every team does. That's fine, but you can't go 40 years or 50 years, without having, a stretch of a couple successful seasons.
Right.
So I think that would be the criteria if you were to ask me. That to me makes the most sense. So teams like Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, Notre Dame, Texas, Oklahoma, Penn State. I'm even going to throw Nebraska in there. USC. Those are going to be blue bloods.
Sure. I think Nebraska and USC are the ones that you'd have questions on. LSU, Tennessee, Penn State. There was another one. But who, at the end of the day, this is for fans to argue about. Blue blood is a status. It's a badge. If everybody was wearing biker jackets, they would be the ones that had the member patch. Everybody else would be one of the, what do they call the guys that are trying to rush themselves in, one of the hang-arounds or whatever. Everybody else is trying to get there. But I agree with you. I think there are benchmarks that we probably can all look to and appreciate. At the end of the day, I don't think it's just rambling. It's just fans being fans.
I think a lot of it is. And, I try to be as objective about it as I can. I can't stand Ohio State and I can't stomach Michigan, but I'm not going to pretend that they aren't.
Sure. Right. Right.
I don't like USC, but I'm not going to pretend for 1 second that they're not.
Right.
So I think that the best way, to be objective is you have to have a certain criteria. And to me, those are all the marks. When the stuff that I just laid out there, I feel like there's nothing left to judge a team at that point. And that's why I throw in teams like, of course, Penn State is, of course, Nebraska is, of course, Miami is.
Right.
They 100% deserve to have that status. So
Yeah.
I don't question those things. And to again go back to the idea of, oh well, it's only a certain amount. That's the most asinine, idiotic thing I've heard. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think that's. Look, I said it was a USC guy, right? Like USC is the gatekeeper to everything. It's just fun, but we're here to talk about it, right? I appreciate you calling.
Yeah, not a problem. Just throwing that out there. That happened to be, the topic at hand when I jumped in.
Thank you. Well, for one thing, you asked me a question, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, hey, we all want to know what your thoughts are and your feelings are as well.
Okay.
Your thoughts also matter.
Thank you, Argo. I appreciate it. Have a great night.
You too.
Okay, we'll see you later. Argo, everybody. I think Penn State should be a blue blood. I know Nebraska is. I think in my opinion, Miami is. Justin R, USF, obviously in the house, saying Clemson has 3. I was off by a year, 1981, 2016, and 2018. So, is 3 enough? I don't think so. Clemson, Tennessee. Here we go. Tempest says Florida State and the University of Florida both have 3. They're not on the list. I mean, who's gatekeeping this crap anyway? A USC fan? Come on now. I apologize to everyone. I should have bookmarked that stupid. I was laughing when I saw it. It's like blue blood. Give me a break. Jason Spangler always checks in late in the show for some reason. Good to see you, Jason. Valuable and long-standing member of the College Football Mafia family. Clemson, Penn State, Georgia, LSU, FSU, and UConn are tertiary blue bloods. UConn for basketball, obviously, and I think they have become. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Kansas. I can't even get it. Duke, Kansas, UConn has 5. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not thinking basketball, but certainly, blue blood. At the end of the day, it's all subjective. People are trying to use objective things. Our Gras talking about objective measurements. Fine. Who's going to set who's the legislative part of it? I don't know. I have no idea. But appreciate your comment. Good to see you, Jason. Thanks for being here tonight. Let's see. Another one I got from Justin R. Oh, somebody's calling right now. We'll get to your comment.
Call from
Charlie.
Charlie, do I have that right?
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Sorry, I'm always a little nervous to call in.
Please do not be nervous.
Shows.
I'm the most I'm the most non pretentious person you'll ever meet. So I'm glad you're here. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, but like what I was saying earlier is like I put it in the chat that like your arch rival, University of Utah, cut 81 academic programs.
They did.
So like if you want to like be a mechanical engineer and your dream school is to go to the University of Utah, you kind of SOL.
Yeah.
And so just to pay college football players a couple $1 million for 4 years, I think that's why people are getting upset. And like again, like people want to watch like men's gymnastics, like I did, just as much as college football. But those programs are being cut just for college football, and so it's just like not fair to kids to have their Olympic dreams cut to go to these universities that only care about football.
So let me propose something to you. I'm assuming you're a Utah fan, just to make sure I know.
No, I'm a KU fan.
Oh, KU fan. Okay, so at the end of the day, let's talk about Utah. They pay $6+ million to Kyle Whittingham, and another $4 million for their basketball coach. $10 million in 2 coach salaries, and yet people are bitching and moaning about playing the players. That's where you lose me. Why do coaches make more than even $1 million to coach their sports. It's because they make all the money, right? So
No, absolutely. And like Bill Self is the highest paid coach in college basketball.
yeah, okay, and you know that. Yeah, I mean, as a KU
Yeah.
fan, you feel that pain, but aren't you willing to do whatever you can to keep that program tip top?
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, does that like the point of going to college is getting an education, but by cutting majors to
Yeah.
pay for these players and coaches, like isn't that more important than, you know, paying a guy $1 million less than
Right. Well, wait,
like the top recruited football player?
I personally think, my opinion only, that the federal government should subsidize Olympic sports in America.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I would just get rid of it completely. It would probably cost, I don't know, let's say $10 billion. We're already spending money like it's going out of style, but let's assume $10 billion is the amount you have to pay for as many Olympic sports as these universities could handle. Let's assume that they all stick around. Would you then be against paying the players whatever they, are worth?
I mean, it really depends. Like if I mean, it's kind of just like crushing kids' dreams of like, I want to go play a sport at the university that I love,
That's fair.
and but this university only offers football and basketball.
Right.
Mhm.
No, look, you're right. There's no doubt about it. It absolutely sucks. It sucks for any of these, tier one sports athletic departments to cut sports. It's horrible. I know personally people that have had their kids. They were supposed to be freshmen this year, and they had their scholarship completely removed, and the player has no recourse. What are they going to do? They're going to
Yeah,
transfer
exactly.
someplace, but these other schools have already filled their rosters. So that's where I think that it's broken. I don't think that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like I watched the men's gymnastics U.S. tournament. Granted, there weren't a lot of people in the stands, but
Right.
there's still an interest in that other than the Olympics.
You're right. Look, I love Olympic sports. I love them.
Yeah.
I just don't. It's not. It's so tough because I think there is no easy answer. I'm really torn. I
Yeah.
want kids to have opportunities. I think the Olympic sports are fantastic. But at the end of the day, basketball and football make the money.
No,
So,
absolutely. I totally agree with you. That's
yeah,
a known fact. And I
yeah,
also want to point out, like, anybody smart with a computer can watch any football game for free, illegally, of course, but
right.
that's what people are doing.
Oh, sure. Yeah. What do you mean? I don't know. I was going to say something better
I mean, like,
here, but people sharing logins, for instance, for all their online services. Absolutely.
yeah.
People are doing stuff like that all over.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, with these TV bundles and everything, like,
Right.
people can't afford $40 a month to
Well,
watch their favorite team play.
yeah, I can't. So I think you're right. That's totally true. Yeah.
But if you have an internet connection and you know how to do stuff, you can get that game for free. I had to do it when KU was playing in a bowl game a couple years ago, and it wasn't on any kind of channel that I could get. So I was able to find it for free online, just do a little digging.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You're exactly right. There's no doubt about it. We need
But
to get
anyway,
to a
like,
better
and I
place.
know people will say, like, but like, what about cutting academic programs? Like, I know people will say, like, studying philosophy or history or art history aren't important, but these universities are cutting these academics to pay these players.
Yeah. Look, when I heard that story out of the University of Utah, I was shocked a little bit because Utah has always subsidized their education since we've been here, and we've been here almost 30 years. So
Yeah.
I was pretty surprised when that came out. At the same time, kids aren't going to college like they used to. They don't have to go to college to get a job.
That is true, and like
Yeah.
trade schools should be, more
Right.
important. But like I remember growing up, and luckily I had parents that were able to pay for my education.
Right.
And growing up, it was like you have to go to college. You have to go to college no matter what.
Yes. That used
And
to
now,
be it, right? That was the thing.
yeah,
You're talking to a guy who didn't do great in school. So I totally understand. All my kids, hopefully, I've only got one left, will be college graduates. They're all underemployed. And it
yeah.
really, really bugs me, but that's just the way the world is. Standard education isn't what it used to be. So,
No, and it all goes back to standard education, and that's a whole nother argument. But
right, right.
I just wanted to make that point. Like, I don't think cutting academics to pay players is a good thing.
I agree with you. I agree. Thanks for calling in.
But
I
anyway,
appreciate you.
yeah, thank you very much.
Of course, anytime. I'd love to have you. Have a great
All
night.
right, have a great night.
Okay, bye-bye. All right. See, this is the best time of the night when everybody calls in. These are the best calls I've had in a long time. I had somebody call twice while I was on the phone. Please call back. I'd love to talk to you. Sorry, I was on the phone with somebody else. All right.
Call from
Nick.
Nick,
Hey, what's going on?
not much. How are you?
Oh, doing great, doing great. First time caller.
Excellent.
This is only my third time watching your live cast. So
So I haven't
excited.
scared you away.
No, absolutely not.
Okay,
You
good.
talking my language, talking college football.
Great. Yeah, I love it. What's on your mind?
All right. So first off, I want to say this. You being a Cougs fan, I know in 1984, if we hadn't have lost the Navy, the offensive struggles we had against the midshipmen, we'd have been national champs instead of BYU in '84. For those who don't know that, I just had to put that out there.
Wait, tell everybody the school you're talking about.
The University of South Carolina, go
Okay.
Cox.
Hey, man, I love the Gamecocks. You guys got one of the coolest brands in all of college sports. I absolutely love it. I was so centered in on BYU that year. To be honest, all I cared about them was just winning out. So Washington has a claim, South Carolina has a claim. I think there are other couple schools that had one loss. But
Yeah.
I think the bigger question is, how do you lose to Navy?
You know what? And we actually did it, I think, a few years ago. I was actually at that game.
Okay.
Was it? No, that wasn't Navy. That was the Citadel. So for those who don't know, South Carolina, when we're bad, we're bad. So this was the year where Spurrier departed from us, and I'm trying to remember the guy. He went on to go coach, I think, at Appalachian State or somewhere. Like his name's not ringing a bell with me right now for some reason. But he stepped in and he did a wonderful job with the guys. And there were questions about them retaining him, and then they went on and hired the great Will Muschamp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Bill Muschamp. I
so,
remember him. Yes, absolutely.
yeah, that was terrible. That was a terrible idea.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And then he goes on to Georgia and wins, 2 national championships. And he's still on staff there, I believe. So,
What can you do?
I don't know.
What can you do? Are you guys? Look, I'm a South Carolina fan this year. You guys were fantastic last year. How are you going to be this year?
A lot of good things I'm hearing. So of course, Lenore Sell's the most exhilarating player in the country.
Yes, he is.
We actually got 2 in the Heisman race this year. If you go across state over to Clemson, we've got Kate Klubnik, who's probably the Heisman front runner this year, and we've got Lenore Sellers, who has pretty good odds at winning. The Gamecocks are returning back, I think they said half of these, just over half 6 starters from last year.
Good.
And one of those phenomenal pass rushers that we had, they're coming back. So had a pretty good recruiting class for Shane Beamer in his 4th year now. And, I think it's all coming along pretty well there for him. It's just, if you watch SEC football, every weekend's a battle.
Sure.
And at least until they play the cupcakes. So
Look, quit. You guys always have Monmouth State or Citadel or
yeah,
Foreman in November. So
yeah,
that kind of
right,
that doesn't stick. That doesn't stick well from a BYU
yeah.
Big 12 fan.
And you know what? Something that some of the quote unquote cupcakes that we play, they actually give us a pretty good challenge. I know some Houston Cougar fans are going to get mad. Houston's has given some SEC schools some good games. South Alabama has.
Sure.
App State. I think they're in the Sun Belt now. App State's given. Of course, everybody remembers the Michigan game. So I mean, every now and again, you know how they say a blind squirrel will find a nut every now and again.
Sure.
So that's just kind of how that goes. But
All right.
yeah. But the reason why I wanted to call in, we were talking about the landscape of college football and just what we're seeing. It's obviously not the game that we grew up watching.
Right.
And that really pains me because all of those traditional local rivalries that we had, a lot of them are going away.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the thing that really angers me the most, that these school presidents, and for those who want to be defensive of the school presidents, they're the ones who basically fostered those decisions along with the TV networks.
Mm-hmm.
They ran towards the money.
Yes.
And there was a documentary I saw with Ian Katayan. Might be butchering his name. CBS long time.
That's pretty good. There. I think that's about how I'd say it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He blew the cover off of this thing, and his target there was primarily the Southern Cal president. Notice we don't say USC, it's Southern Cal. At the time, I don't know if she's still the president there, but I'm sure she was a wonderful lady. She basically was the one that was applied pressure for Southern Cal to join the Big Ten. And if you know how Texas and Oklahoma was anchoring down the Big 12, Southern Cal anchoring down the Pac-12.
Right.
Once these schools leave, it's almost as if here in the Southeast, if you were to hear Alabama is leaving the SEC, you know how many teams would follow Alabama out of the SEC into a different conference? It's just they're a built-in rival themselves, for everyone across the board. Everyone wants to beat Alabama, and if Alabama is not there, of course, you're going to want to go to where the action is. There's going to be money involved in that.
Right.
And these school presidents, they followed the money, and they're the biggest reason that we're looking at this football landscape, because, of course, if they put it up to the fan bases and, just the fans in general, but what do us lowly fans know? All we are basically pawns to, feed their lifestyles and feed their projects and whatever else, and the networks use us for our viewership to sell to corporations and businesses to say, hey, I've got these many eyes watching this event or this whatever, and they'll just fund it. So that's where I place the blame at primarily.
I think the NCAA is just as they screwed up. The power conferences and the NCAA are on the hook as well. I mean, it's all a conglomeration of those decisions, right, over decades.
Right. The NCAA was feckless when it came to the NIL situation. And that's how you end up with an Ohio State winning the championship with basically an NFL payroll.
Right, right. That's true. That's true.
And it's not a shock. I mean, these guys were a team of mercenaries.
Sure.
You just brought them in and said, all right, let's have some structure and go about this thing, and let's just win when we had to turn it on. Now, what did they lose? What, 1 or 2 games last year? I can't remember.
2 games.
But Yeah, I was not even interested last year, and then don't even get me started on that playoff, charade that they put out there. They didn't even put the best teams in there and the most deserving teams out there into it.
Yeah.
So it's fingers can be pointed either way with all of it, but the whole point that I want to make with everything is just it's a mismatch, mismatch, however you want to say it. Yeah, I'm from the South here. My dialect may not.
Oh
be
no,
the
yeah, I
best.
heard you. I understand.
Yeah. It's just a mashup of failure that's just chugging along. It's making a lot of money now in the short term, but as time goes on, the passion for the game, the rivalries are gone, and it's gonna fade. I mean, I'm what you call an NBA fan, a former NBA fan, a displaced fan, or whatever.
Right.
I couldn't tell you 10 NBA players. Let me take that back. When this current group of veteran stars, when they go, I wouldn't be able to name you 10 players in the NBA.
Yeah, it's hard to watch the NBA.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was the type of guy that I could name you the majority of the rosters of pretty much 80-90% of the teams growing up. And now I could care less. If I see a game, it's hard to watch.
Are they hard to watch if they win though?
Absolutely, it's hard to watch. I didn't watch any of the finals. I heard about what's this guy, Halliburton. I'm sure he's a pretty good guy because people, hold him up in high regard. I guess he had a great game one or something. I heard all over.
Oh, you're talking about NBA.
That.
Sorry, I lost
Yeah,
my
the
train
NBA.
of thought. No, yeah, we don't really talk NBA around here. I don't care about them at all.
Right. Well, I understand, but it was just the point I was trying to make about the NBA, and correlating it back to college football.
Okay.
Eventually, you're gonna get this. You're gonna get to a situation where nobody really cares, and that's the saddest thing, considering the adoration that college football had. I mean, here I'm gonna bring it up again. Me being a Gamecocks fan, all right. We've dropped some stinker of a seasons.
Right.
If you go back to before when Lou Holtz actually came, it's Lou Holtz's first year. I think he went 0-12, and the following year I think he went 6-6, and we made it to the Outback Bowl. So our stadiums were sold out. Williams-Brice was sold out. It almost through its entirety. They expanded the stadium, and they're still selling out. I mean,
sure.
There's a passion there.
Yeah.
Even for a loser, and I'm not calling the Gamecocks a loser. I'm just saying we struggle. But even for a losing product, you still sell out. I mean, you look at the sale. I don't want to say Vanderbilt, but let's say Indiana. You saw how Indiana did this year. And you couldn't find a seat there. So the game is, people have passion for the game.
Yeah.
And they desire a winner.
Yes. Well, it's not desire, they demand because they're spending money.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a great point. So when you have that desire for a winner to win, and only so many people can do that, and now you're shrinking that window. That hope, that fellowship that you have with other fans, with your school, your community, all that's going away because they've sold out to the highest bidder. And it's going to be a sad road to see 15, 20 years from now what this mashup is going to be that they've turned college football into, and the only people that lose are the next generation of fans.
I think that's a great place to wrap it up. I agree with you. Everything you said, I agree with. I think the mechanics, the money in college football, the losing rivalries, all those things are going to affect the end product. The disaster would be killing the golden goose, which is college football, by shrinking it to an uber elite. I think that would
Yeah.
absolutely kill college football. I mean, I'm a huge anti, super elite group because I don't care who you are, you need the vast majority of the nation involved to keep the thing vital. And just shrinking it to a very small number of schools would be a huge mistake, in my opinion.
Yeah. And let me add one more thing too.
Sure.
The pay for play. I tell you, I'm from rural South Carolina out here, a midpoint between two big metropolitans, and I have seen the poorest of poor people. I thank God that my mom, she was able to help people that was less than. So I do understand that some of these kids that come from undesirable backgrounds,
Right.
yeah, they needed ways to make some type of revenue for their family to help out.
Yeah.
But to the point where the NIL is, it's just as bad as what we're talking about with everything else. So all of that said, I love the show. Love
Thank
you
you.
taking the time out to speak with me.
Absolutely.
And go Gamecocks, go Cougs. Hope you guys have a wonderful season.
Thank you so much, and
Yeah.
I wish nothing but good luck to South Carolina. I'd love you guys
Absolutely.
to win the SEC, would you? Get those big
All right,
dogs off
listen,
there.
we've been trying. We've been
I know.
close a couple years. We're trying.
Just
Hopefully
keep
this is the year.
as long as you every time you play Texas A&M, you win. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
those
right.
guys, man.
Have a great night. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for calling.
All right, you too.
Okay, see ya.
All right, bye.
Oh, I love that so much. This is why I know if you're new to the channel, by the way, we've gone over 2 hours. I'll keep going as long as you guys want to keep calling in. 801-899-6203. I'll stay here as long as you guys keep calling. The reason I started this show in the first place is to do exactly what we just did here. I love my opinions. Yeah, I like to hear my own voice a little bit, but more importantly, I love to have these conversations. You guys are some of the smartest people. Well, I've always said we have the smartest people watching our shows. And we just need to get the word out, more and more people. Ryan Willie, earlier, a $2 super chat. I missed Ryan. I apologize. Got caught up in some calls there. Did the SEC make the list? I think that was in reference to being a blue blood. Yeah, talking from a Big Ten guy and Ryan Willie, I see where that's targeted. I've always thought that we need a paradigm shift in the way that all the ratings are put together, but I just do not see that changing anytime soon with ESPN driving the bus. And I was shocked Fox didn't do whatever it could to get a piece of the CFP. I mean, for the main thing. I was desperate. You know what would be great is if not Amazon, but maybe Apple bought the college football playoff in 2030, 31, I think is when the next contract's up. Whenever that comes up, to have a streamer buy the whole thing, that would be brilliant. Because then it opens up. Now you can make recruiting rankings and true preseason ranking. You can do other things if you get ESPN out of it. That's just my dumb opinion, but that's what I believe. So thank you, Ryan. Appreciate the super chat. Also, Timothy Green has joined us. Good to see you, Timothy. Appreciate you joining here at the end of the show. Everyone, please don't forget to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and share. To everyone, very much. Many thumbs up and a football. Timothy Green, our soldier out on the East Coast in West Virginia. Appreciate him so much. Thank you for being here tonight, Timothy. It's great to see you. If you want to join the show, I've got some more time. 801-899-6203. I'll stick around as long as you guys keep calling. I do have a few more comments read, and then if nobody calls in, I'll probably just call it a night. Justin R., USF fan, definitely been around here forever. We appreciate you, Justin. For that blue blood list, there was a criteria. They had to be top 15 in win percentage, minimum of 750 games, and at least one natty in 2 of the 3 eras, AP or coaches poll, BCS, and CFP. Okay. Somebody came up with the list. It's you can't say arbitrary because they're all metrics there, but yeah, I don't know. Any list that doesn't have Miami on it, I don't appreciate. Let's just put it that way. The other schools, Penn State and everybody else, they're legacy schools. I think they've been doing it longer than Miami. Before Bo Schembechler, Miami wasn't what they are now. In fact, wasn't it a women's university there for a little bit? It was definitely a private school. Now they're something completely different. And my friend Rock and Rant and Miami Flow, love to have them around. Friends of the show, super Miami fans, Hurricane fans. I think Miami is a blue blood, so whatever. Talk to a wall if you disagree with me. Jason Spangler, someone suggested on another show that you just go all in and socialize the Olympic sports. Put that on PBS and make the government fund it 100%. That's what every other country in the world do. Great points. Couple things, Jason. PBS just went out of business. The government just pulled all its funding. PBS is essentially no more. It hasn't shut down yet. The channels are still up. But the federal government, and everybody can check me on this, federal government shut PBS down. So I don't know how it's still running. I don't know why Bill Gates doesn't back it up. He's got billions of dollars, for heaven's sakes. But yeah, the government pulled his funding from PBS. So there's something that the U.S. just doesn't appreciate Olympic sports. And there's too many other good sports to be playing. The rest of the world plays football, which is soccer. It's that and track and field. They love Olympic sports. That's why the Olympics, well, the U.S. does well by itself. The rest of the world in aggregate does much, much better. And it's because they do federally subsidize their Olympic sports. They also don't have the university system that the United States does. Really, nobody does except for maybe China. Nobody fact checked me on that. I just said that off the top of my head. But anyway, you get my point. Great to have you here. Good to see you, Jason. Super, super valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. Penn State has Ohio State with the cheaters as lesser rivals, but the big ones kind of went away after joining the Big Ten. Pitt and West Virginia were big rival. I miss rivalries. I will continue to miss rivalries. It's one of the worst things that shutting down sports, cutting off athletes that you've made promises to, I think is criminal. And if I was those players, I would be trying to do a class action, get money. The A4 and the NCAA seems helpless against these lawsuits. If I was like I said, I know somebody who had a child that just went into school and had their stuff revoked, and it was crushing to the athlete. So, good to see you, Jason. Let's see. Kansas, Nebraska was the longest consecutively played game in college football history. When it ended, if it was still going, it would be longer streak than anyone, period. Yeah. Nebraska leaving the Big 8 or the Big 12, I guess they had moved to the Big 12. That's also a criminal. Man, I long for 80s college football. I'd put 80s college football up against any era. Talk to the back of my hand if you don't agree. Let's see here. One last call out. Make sure you follow in the show, by the way. Subscribe on YouTube. I've got 120 people watching on YouTube. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, I don't know please subscribe. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers as a goal. A lot of new people watching tonight. I appreciate you all. If you're on Twitter, do me a favor and jump over to YouTube. You don't have to change your Twitter feed. Just open another page on your computer and go to College Football Mafia. Hit the subscribe button and consider becoming a member of the College Football Mafia family. We have some fantastic videos in our library. The member videos are fantastic. If you just hit the membership tab, or I think it's membership on the main page, you can see these videos, but to watch them, you have to be a member. And we have a new member tonight, Charlie Casado, who I really, really appreciate doing tonight. Rocking this up, Bomber. We always wanted BYU in the Big 8. It was just that we don't play on Sundays this year, or so I'm told. Yeah, man. I always thought Pac-12 because I'm from Washington, and I thought, I get to go watch them at Washington State, which was 45 minutes away, and I go to Seattle. But I absolutely love Big 8 and then Big 12 football. Kansas has been up and down. They've actually been a fun brand to watch in football. But Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, are you kidding me? And the triple option and the veer and I love that football. So fun. And I'm so glad Kansas is up and going. Their new stadium is going to be fantastic. I've seen pictures. But thank you, Jason. I would have loved BYU to be in the Big 8, Big 12, whatever. That would have been fantastic. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't do anything about it now, right? David Kreitzer, I kind of enjoy not financing a fake border crisis and invasion of my own country. Wow, I don't know. I picked up at random. I'm not sure what that's. David, welcome to the. Thanks for being here. Not sure what that comment actually meant. Bob Swinger says, Bomber, I love the 70s, 80s, 90s college football. I did too. Bob, you and me both. Shonsky says, Bomber players take money and turn around every day and leave. It's true. Look, it's going to go like this until they start putting some madness, order to the madness, which can be done. It's not impossible. These people that complain and bitch and moan, say college football cannot be reformed, I just hate them because they're killing the sport by waiting and being. Yeah, I hate that. Let's see if there's any more comments in here that I missed. Timothy Green says, I hope PBS finds a way to stay on. I like watching some of their shows. Hey, look, I love Frontline. One of the best news mags on TV. In fact, I think probably is. I love PBS stuff. I don't watch it during the day, but their weekly shows are fantastic. And then they bring in the stuff from the BBC, and I think it's a real horrible thing that's happened to PBS. Go back here a little bit more. Tempest says, or Elon Musk. Yeah, he could, buy PBS. It would be interesting. Elon Musk buying PBS. What does it look like politically? That would be an interesting question to answer. Lee, good to see you, Lee. I appreciate you being here tonight. I was trying to figure out what Cowherd had said to do with anything. Oh, again, out of context. I can't be sure what that's in reference to, but it's good to see you, Lee. Thank you so much. That might be it, guys. One last call out, 801-899-6203. Call me and we'll talk about whatever you want to, or we'll just move along. Have a great night and everything else. Justin R says, who knows, Apple might buy ESPN. They could. I think the ESPN NFL deal might make that more complicated. I don't know. That's something I should ask Bob. Trying to get Bob to come in this month. He has been extremely difficult to pin down this month. Actually, the last 2 months, he's been busy. I think that's it, everybody. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for Steve Moser. Sesame Street is one of the best TV shows of all time. I love Sesame Street. At least the old Sesame Street. The newer Sesame Street, last 20 years, been a little But the 70s, I grew up on that Sesame Street stuff. In the 70s, it was gangster, man. You kidding me? And then the Muppets came out, and I just really olded myself out right there. All right, guys. I think we'll shut that down. You guys have a great night. Tomorrow night, right here, 8 p.m. Eastern, Moen and people will be here talking Big Ten preview along with picks. Tell everybody what we thought about the Big Ten this year. That'll be tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time on the College Football Mafia channel. Appreciate everybody joining tonight. And this has been a lot of fun. I wasn't sure if you guys were going to want to stick around with me this long, but man, you guys are still here. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for this thing that I started on a flyer. My team, my partners, Wild Ute and Moen After Dark, some of the best people you'll ever meet, and really special group. Becky Go Huskies, Daniel Gygax, Sergeant Pickles, Rock and Rant, Fergie, Jackson Johnson. I mean, the list goes on. All these people that have helped us keep this thing going. I appreciate those guys, and I hope you do too. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're on X, jump over to YouTube and hit the subscribe button for me on the College Football Mafia channel. And you guys have a great rest of your night, okay? I don't think I'll be on the show tomorrow night. I don't know. I might butt in. Nah, I'll let Moen do it. But Thursday, I'll be meeting with Jeremiah Dickey. If you don't know who that is, I'll tell you right now. He's the AD for the Boise State Broncos. It's taken me 2 months to get him on a show, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's talk Broncos. As long as I can keep him around. He's another slippery, super smart guy. That'll be Thursday during the day, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, I believe. So stand by. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll tell you exactly when that's going to pop up. Everybody else, have a great night. Stay out of trouble, and we will talk to you later. Peace out.